It's a very fun and filling episode of Twin Cities Live today from Mystic Lake Casino. Well, what we're doing is prepping you for your Turkey Day feast with some of our favorite cooks. They're coming in with great ideas. Our next cook actually ditches the traditional mashed potatoes. Instead, bring on that sweet stuff.
Oh, the sweet potatoes. We're talking mashed sweet potatoes with bourbon. It's been a staple at her Thanksgiving table for about 10 years. We want to welcome the co-owner of Cafe 421, Antigoni Sander McCloud, back to Twin Cities Live. Hi, Tim. Happy Thanksgiving. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, sweet potatoes are where it's at as far as I'm concerned.
So delicious.
Yes.
And it's a nice spin on the classic mashed potato. It does have a little bit more nutrition to it, but hey, we're adding some butter and we're adding some brown sugar and some booze.
Equalizer.
Exactly.
Good.
So we can throw that all out the window.
So one of your friends gave you this recipe?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
cool.
it's a cool recipe. A friend of mine in Chicago gave this to me. It was her grandmother's recipe. And every year at Thanksgiving, she would call her grandma for the recipe, and it was their thing, right? Like, grandma would count on the call, and she'd get the recipe, and it was sweet.
Oh,
Cute.
cool.
So I was coming home one year, and I wanted a new recipe, and she's like, make this, everyone will love it.
Okay.
And so I started making it then, and I've tweaked it a little bit since then, but that is the beauty of cooking. You share recipes, and you make them your own. So one of the things in the original recipe is that you boil the potatoes as you would mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
What I've started doing is roasting them.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
Because look at this. Look at all that like gooey deliciousness.
We like that.
Those are the natural sugars coming out of your
No
sweet potato
way.
jacket.
You didn't add any honey or anything to that?
Nope, I just poked them with a knife a bunch of times and let them roast at 425 until they're super soft. And they smell, Matt, my husband, kept saying, it smells like cookies.
Yeah.
It smells like cookies.
Okay, that's great. So
Yes.
then you let them cool here, obviously,
Let 'em
because you're
cool.
holding it.
This is cool, yes. However, you can let them cool just 10 minutes out of the oven. Put them in an ice cold bath of water.
Oh.
And if you just follow where you put those knife scores, that potato skin just comes right off like
seems
that.
simple. That's
got
great.
one good trick after
So-
another.
Isn't that
I
awesome?
like that, Tig. That's great.
I love that. You don't have to stand there with the peeler working on getting those skins off before you put them in the boiling water.
Plus, you don't lose any of the flavor to the water.
You don't, you get more flavor too
Yeah.
because you've roasted them than boiling them.
This
so
is great. I
look
love
at
this.
that, nice and easy.
Beautiful.
So once you have that done, you've got all your potatoes cleaned, you put them in the bowl.
With their best friend, butter.
Yes.
Hey, Butter, you're always welcome
Lots
here.
of butter.
We love you.
Yes, and we're doing it all the way. We've got a nice, yummy stick of butter. We've got salt. And at this point, I eyeball the recipe. And in the Sander family, we like them to taste a little boozy.
Okay.
So, at least I do. Everyone else seems to eat them, so that's okay. And I throw all those ingredients in there.
So
the
add
vanilla.
some of the bourbon that you used for Joy's drink earlier.
Yes, isn't that
Yeah, right.
perfect?
Some of that in.
Multi-purpose bourbon.
Yes.
Love that.
And we've got the natural sugar from the potato, the vanilla enhances that, and then you only really need a little bit of brown sugar because it already has so much flavor.
Okay, so you must kind of do this to taste then. You
I
taste
do.
a little bit and
Yep,
then
you
adjust
start
if you
mixing
need
it. I do this,
Mama.
and there it goes. And then I would get my spoon and I taste it and see if
Yeah.
it needed a little bit more of this or a little bit more of that.
Okay.
Add more bourbon.
Add more bourbon, take a
little more
sip,
bourbon.
maybe a little
Make sure the
sipsies.
bourbon's still strong.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Make
you
sure
go.
it's doing its job.
Now, when you're serving this, you're doing this a little differently. You're not just piling the bowl on the table.
No.
You've got them baked, huh?
You put them in a casserole and then you
dig
bake
into
it.
these?
You should dig in. It just has this beautiful sort of smoky flavor to it with a hint of sweetness, but not like dessert. And the best thing about this is that you can make this several months ahead of time if you are so inclined.
Wow.
Really?
And freeze it. Yeah, they freeze beautifully because there's just butter, there's no cream or anything that
Wow.
will separate in there.
Oh my gosh.
That's really good.
That
Isn't that yummy?
is so delicious. Okay, we're loving it. What about the tasting table? Let's send it over to them.
Texturally, this is amazing. It's so light and fluffy. It doesn't have anything to detract from it. Bourbon, butter, and that oakiness from the vanilla plays beautifully with both the sweet potato and the bourbon, which I can really taste. I love.
So many sweet potato casseroles are piled on with marshmallows, and it's all about that. And I want dessert at the end. You know, I love this. It's buttery, and I think people who don't think they like sweet potatoes are going to love this.
I think it's really delicious. I love the creaminess. I love the sweetness, and I would even probably, for me, because I'm a pecan fan, I would sprinkle pecans on at the very end.
Yes.
And I would probably just eat that.